Stop procrastinating. Katie sighed, hearing Pandora in the kitchen. We are trying to get ready to leave. I know you can move fast. I've seen it 100 times. Pandora appeared in her doorway wearing a pair of ripped jeans, a tight black tank top, snakeskin heels, and a long overcoat that came down to her calves. Painted on the fabric were crows in flight, starting at the bottom and spreading out toward the breast and shoulders. She had a donut in her hand and a smudge of chocolate on her lips. "You really need to calm down," Pandora stated. "Seriously, after a weekend of nothing but dicking? You should be more relaxed than a whore on her walk back after church. I know you'll get irritable again, but shit, the effects should last longer than that." Katie stared at her for a moment and then stomped over to her room. She walked in the door with her hands out and her eyes wide. Number 1, nothing is actually in the suitcase. Number 2, all of this won't fit. And most important, what are you doing with these piles and piles of clothes? It is not a long trip, and half the time we'll be in our battle gear. Pandora shrugged, walking over and picking up one of her jackets. "I want to take all of my new clothes. This is going to be a business trip after all, and I should look fabulous. People do treat you differently depending on what you wear. It's not a false human statement. They may stop hiding behind their chairs and pissing their old man boxers and old lady panties every time I walk in the room." Katie hated to say it, but she had a point. "All right, fine. You can bring your clothes, but you have to pick out what will fit in the suitcase and that duffel on your dresser. And remember, your guns, your toiletries, and your shoes have to fit in the duffel too." "What a dream," Pandora said snidely. "Packing my toiletries with my guns. Nothing like a little gun oil to add that battle-tossed depth to my aesthetic." Katie rolled her eyes. "Take it easy, glamour pussy. Don't forget, no matter how you look, you're going to call your angelic armor over it at some point. You know how it wrinkles and pulls your clothes." Pandora shoved the rest of the donut into her mouth and slumped her shoulders. "This is bullshit. All the magical crap angels can do, and we can't keep a linen coat from creasing under angelic armor? What good is it to buy $1,700 jackets? I just want to look fabulous." Katie was halfway out the door, but turned her head back toward her. "You do know that donning angelic armor is something... well, something only you and I do on a regular basis, right? It's not really on a stylist's list of things to consider when they are creating their fashion line." Pandora pointed at her. "They should. The times they are a-changin'. Besides, we are going to Italy, where there is romance and sexiness at every turn. I need to look the part." Katie turned back around and leaned against the doorway. "We are not going to Italy for romance. We are going to Italy to take a better look at the Vatican's records. Only this time, they're actually expecting us." Pandora rolled her eyes. "Which I told you is a huge mistake. Anything they feel insecure about, they will just hide anyway." "I'm not looking for anything too classified," Katie replied. "You know that. We're looking for clues in the chaos, the same thing we do with everything else. Because God forbid anyone in this whole war of angels and demons says things like a straight shooter." Katie turned and headed back down the hall to finish her own packing. Pandora gasped and went running down the hall, flinging herself into Katie's room and skidding across the floor in her heels. Katie glared at her, startled. "I do not care how you dress, but please refrain from scuffing the Italian hardwood floors." Pandora grinned awkwardly, then shook her head. "But to the point." Katie wrinkled her forehead. "What point?" Pandora put her hands together and gave a pleading look. "I was just thinking, since we are going to be so close, maybe we can head over to Paris?" "Paris? We were just there," Katie replied, folding a t-shirt. "We saw all the lights and the gross love shit, and the museums. What is there to see again?" "The naked restaurant," Pandora blurted out. "Not only do I love being free like that, but I have been craving that double chocolate cheesecake they have. Like dreaming about it." Katie didn't even look at her. "Even if I was the least bit interested in going there, we can't. They closed. They were a limited-time engagement." Pandora snapped her fingers. "Ugh, damn it. All right, let me throw my clothes in the suitcase and change, and I'll be ready to go.